Hello and welcome to the fourth video in my Beginner's Guide to Python series. In today's video I'm going to be going over conditions as well as if statements in Python. This allows our programs to be even more dynamic by allowing for certain blocks of code to run depending on whether the condition is true or false. So let's get into it. So these are the conditions in Python. To start off we've got equal to, not equal to, which is an exclamation mark and an equal sign. We've got less than or equal to, greater than, and we've got greater than or equal to. You'll recognise some of these like less than, greater than, things like that from just doing maths in school, but some of these are unique to programming languages like greater than or equal to, not equal to, etc. Logical conditions in Python allow us to compare values with each other. The result of this will either be true or it will be false. If this sounds confusing, let me give an example. Okay, so let's say we have two numbers. We'll do A equals 5 and B equals 15. We'll use the equals to sign to begin with. So let's say A is equal to B. And notice how we use double equal sign, because if we only had one, then we would be setting this as a variable. So we'd be making A equal to the value of B. So we'd be changing A to 15. We don't want that. We're just checking whether A is equal to B. Is A equal to B? No, it's not. So the value of this would be false. We can test this by printing it out. So let's do A. So let's print out A equals B, and it should output here as false. So let's run this. And there we go, we get false. Well, what about some of the other operators? Let's do less than. So if we print this out, we should get true. That's because A is less than B, because obviously 5 is less than 15. So let's print this out and make sure. And there we go, we get true. I encourage you to pause the video and have a play around with these conditions and guess whether the result would be true or false. Then print out the condition and see if you get it right. So now we know about conditions, but I mean, what use is it just printing true or false to the console? There isn't really, so let's put our condition to use by using it in an if statement. I'll write out an if statement now just as an example. So we can do if A is less than B, and then we'll print out A is less than B. So an if statement says to the computer, if this condition in here, in the open and close brackets, is true, then we will print out this to the console. So is A less than B? Yes, it is. So that means this is true. So therefore, it should print this out to the console. When writing an if statement, you've got to make sure that you use the if keyword before your condition. Notice here that I used a colon. This automatically made this print statement indent, so it's a little bit further forward. This is for a few reasons, main one being that it's just so much easier to read, because imagine if this is here instead. Not only do we get a syntax error, but it also is just a lot harder to read, so we indent our if statements. So if we run this now, we'll see if it works. Oh, I've ran it twice there, but yeah, there you go. It prints out A is less than B. So like I said earlier, whatever in here has to be true in order for this to happen. So we could theoretically just put the word true in here, and if we run this now, it'll work the exact same way. But if we put false in here, then there we go, it just does nothing. Thank you for watching the video. There's been a lot to go through this episode, so if you're still here and ready to move on to the next tutorial, then pat yourself on the back because you're smashing it. In the next one, I'm going to be going over elif statements and else statements, so make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell if you fancy it, and I'll see you in the next video.